Oh my god.
That was...
Oh, damn. Welcome to PC.
I'll be talking about what weapons I think will pair the best with the last word. I know we don't have our hands on the last word yet, but at least you have enough time between now and then to possibly obtain one of these weapons. I'm not going to go into armor. I'm not going to go into subclass. Today, just slot 2 energy weapons. So the one I'm most excited about is this Tatara Gaze. Look at how ugly the scope is. I'll talk about that in a minute. The real reason that this snipe is important is because it's an aggressive frame, meaning the most damage per body shot. And that's important because you might be able to clean up with a body shot from the snipe and a body shot from the last word. You might be saying in the comment section already, but a fake cries foul or an Aachen does the same thing with the damage model of the last word. And you'd be right, but when you consider damage drop off distance, aka the hand cannon does full damage here, but it does significantly less damage there, maybe the extra damage from the snipe body shot will make it so the last word cleans up in a body shot or worst case, a headshot. Maybe. But what makes the Tatara Gaze even more special isn't just the aggressive frame, but the ability to roll a kill clip. Meaning, after I kill somebody, then reload, meaning I have to have excess ammo, I get to body shot somebody for the kill. And that's great. You can also get quick draw or snapshot here, which just makes the sniper handle a lot better. And people like that. I definitely agree with that pick, but I sort of got shafted here because the masterwork is also handling, and quick draw already accomplishes that. So I think handling makes more sense with snapshot. Even like a reload, range, or stability masterwork would have made more sense here. Might be asking, why a stability masterwork? That is because whenever you body shot switch to your primary for cleanup, the primary takes the kick. You see the kick distance of those 2 bullets? It takes the kick of your sniper rifle. So if your sniper rifle is more stable, the gap between these 2 bullets would be a little bit smaller. So it'd look like this. I'll just show you one quick example. Look at the gap between those bullets. If I go for something like steady rounds and let the guns cool down for a second, snipers have crazy slow hip fire cones. Hand cannon's very fast. You'll see that that's slightly smaller gap between the previous test. And that's very, very important because the last word I've always thought of as a sniper rifle buddy. Because you can deal with shotguns either with your sniper. If you miss and hit the body, then you can short hop or jump away, ability jump, and then just hip fire down your opponent with the last word. Makes a lot of sense. So you would be thinking that there would be a lot of situations where you are cleaning up body shots. The next weapon I'll talk about is the long goodbye, but first I want to compare the sniper rifle scopes while I have a little bit of ammo. So in a situation where you have one opponent on the right, one opponent on the left, you might lose both of them since this scope doesn't offer any peripheral vision. Look at the left and right sides of the scope, they are completely blacked out. So in the event that I want to try to guess who's coming first, left or right, I have to aim in the middle. But with this sniper rifle, that's not a good idea because now I see neither. And there's that little blind spot where they can peek and get a shot in if they hug cover as much as they can. But with the scope like the long goodbye, you'll see that this peripheral is open. First of all, because it's a lower zoom, but most of all because it's a circle and not a square or a rectangle. You'll also notice that the long goodbye has a chevron sight. Where do you obtain this snipe, you say? You obtain this snipe from the Insight Terminus strike on Nessus. Has to be a nightfall. It is not this week. And you just farm it and occasionally get a drop, and if you're lucky, it'll have a reasonable roll. I chose this snipe particularly because it is very similar to the aggressive Bite of the Fox in the kinetic slot. Both snipes have the same sight. So it's very natural snipe to get used to in the energy slot if you're already adept with the Bite of the Fox. Both have that nasty chevron sight, which I'm not too much of a fan of, but it does the job. If you're not a fan of the chevron sight, you can go get the Fake Cries Foul from the Crucible vendor. Much, much cleaner. You can see the peripheral still open. You could go for the Aachen, which if you don't know how to get it in the energy slot, I recommend farming a year 1 lost sector like this one in the Trossland under Devram K's church. Aachen, I have a lot of kills under my belt with. I highly recommend it. You'll see that you can't even put a mod on it, which is unfortunate, but it does the job worst case scenario if you can't get a perfect sniper rifle roll. For the Fake Cries Foul, this is a very PvE centric roll, but you can get something like Snapshot Rampage, Snapshot Dragonfly, you can get AP rounds, and make it feel as much like the Aachen as you possibly can. Thing to note here is you can put a mod on it, you can put an Icarus grip so jump shots are a little bit more consistent. You could put a sprint grip or a quick access sling, freehand grip, which I actually do recommend, because there's going to be situations where a shotgunner's aping you down, Titan Skate style, whatever, and the only thing you can do is hip fire, backpedal, and switch to the primary. Switch to the last word. But if you're not a sniper, no big deal. Actually, I'm not done talking about snipes. Transition a little bit too quick. This is the Twilight Oath. It's a rapid fire frame. Think of it as a glorified scout rifle rather than a snipe. You'll notice that this actually has even longer openings for the peripheral sight. So, in other words, it can be used as a close quarter sniper, absolutely. Notice that this has box breathing activating. This also has a perk called Opening Shot, which I recommend. It's like gifting you a free headshot. So combine the added range and precision damage, plus the added range and accuracy of Opening Shot, and maybe even range of accurized rounds and a range masterwork. Remember, range is tied to bullet magnetism. You have a headshot magnet. The glorified scout rifle. Let me go try to find you some green just so I can show you how fast the sniper rifle actually fires. You can obtain this from the Dreaming City just by doing any Dreaming City reset type thing. And the, what do you call it, curated roll on it's actually pretty decent. So if you can't triple body shot or double body shot after buff somebody, then maybe the last word will do the cleanup job for you. I don't know. I think this pairing makes a lot of sense. But if for some reason you can't obtain a good roll of this Twilight Oath, try to find yourself a Copperhead out in the wild or a Widow's Bite, which is essentially the same thing. Both snipers feel fantastic. And again, notice that the scope actually opens up that peripheral vision. Okay, now I'm done talking about sniper rifles. You can actually go within Aura Wings Mall, and so the idea would be you shoot the concussion launcher. Let me kill this guy real quick for some green. Shoot the concussion launcher. Oh shit, Doom Marchers. What are these gods? Oh, those are all terrible. No. For the record, since I'm talking about it on this tangent, I like traction on these because these already boost mobility, so you can have like a 10 mobility build. I just typically go for dynamo when I can't decide though. Back on subject. So the idea would be the exact same thing as the snipe, except this time you can go from the air with no hesitation, because a grenade launcher is just as accurate from the air as it is from the ground. Both pretty much went where I wanted them to go. So the idea would be you can actually use the sprint cancel of your jump ability to switch to the last word a little bit faster. So I shoot the grenade launcher, sprint cancel, and then just clean up. And they're concussed, their screen flinches, they can't sprint, you will fuck them up. You will destroy them. The best part about this one though is watch the reload. I'm not reloading. I haven't touched it. What's this? Reloaded again because of auto-loading holster? Unfortunately, if you're a new player, I don't think you can obtain this. So you'd have to go for something like the Flash and Thunder by farming EDZ or Devram K packages. You can definitely get the harsh language. Here, let me just pull out Flash and Thunder real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Unfortunately with Flash and Thunder, you cannot auto-loading holster, but you can field prep, which means when you crouch, reloads faster. Not the biggest improvement, but you don't really have a lot of options. I highly recommend Grenade Launcher plus Last Word, just for consistency's sake and a little bit of movement tech that you can do by not being punished for playing in the air. But if you're more the blunt o'clock style person, this is a Destiny player on the Xbox side of things that I would see every day in Rumble. He would run a Last Word and a shotgun and shit on everybody. He did this in year 1, he did this in year 2, and he did this in year 3. Don't ever underestimate the shotgun and the Last Word. In this case, the Retold Tale is the closest I think we can get to something that feels like the Destiny 1 Felwinter's Lie. This is pretty much as good as it gets. Maybe Full Choke would be better, but honestly these days Rifle Barrel is pretty close when you consider, the grand scale of things. So exact same way you would use this is slide in, shotgun, you're out of shotgun ammo, tap, 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 Last Word style, close quarters, and you'd pretty much avoid any long distance engagement ever. And that's that gameplay loop. Of course you can get exotics that give you an advantage, like Doom Archers for sprint, Lion Rampant for skating, Antaeus Words for sliding to protect you at long distance whenever you're transversing a piece of cover. Stand aside, same shit. You guys know exactly where I'm going with this. But if you're not the kind to use special ammo, you can last resort to a bow, which will be the exact same combo as the snipe, which means body shot cleanup. I don't know if the Last Word will actually clean up for that, so maybe headshot cleanup. We'll see. I like the precision bow though, because the precision bow allows you to 2-tap to the body, so you don't necessarily need the Last Word if you're near cover. And so, for example, you can kill like this, instead of having to fully expose yourself and then go for the quicker option of the Last Word, assuming that it cleans up in the amount of requisite shots. And that's pretty much where I'm going to end the mini commentary on pairings. Again, I'll quickly go through where to get all these weapons in case you missed it and skipped around the video. Tatara Gaze, Black Armory. If you're lucky, it's available this week. Copperhead. I think you just pull engrams and do year 1 content. Twilight Oath. You get from the Dreaming City. Long Goodbye, Insight Terminus Nightfall. Aura Wings Mole you cannot obtain anymore, but Flash and Thunder you can get from the EDZ by farming packages. Or you can get lucky with year 1 drops. The Fate Cries Foul you can get for a Crucible package by turning in tokens to Lord Shaxx, or an end of game reward from the Crucible. The Retold Tale you can get from the Dreaming City. And the Aachen you can get for farming year 1 Lost Sectors. I hope this video was somewhat informative for those of you looking to find a weapon that is the jelly to the peanut butter that is the Last Word. You can unsub. Yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this one, and I might do one on more theory-crafted builds with exotic armor and subclass perks. See you in the next one.